Since you've determined the number of steel landscape edging pieces necessary for the project, the next step is to decide on your installation method. There are a couple of different methods, like creating a trench before installation, or simply pounding the edging down to its desired depth. If trenching, consider using a sharpshooter shovel or something like a half-moon edger. Form your trench in the desired shape, or if the ground is soft enough, then simply hammering the edging to your desired depth without a trench is a great option. Now that you're ready to install, remove the attached stakes that are on each end of each piece of edging. Important, remember to wear proper eye protection as well as gloves during installation. Leverage is the key when removing the stakes. That's why using a long-handled tool is recommended over something like standard pliers. The longer the handle, the better the leverage. Do not simply try to break or pull the stakes off, as this will be difficult to do. Take the edging to a flat surface. Anything from a workbench to the ground will work. Then secure the edging by leaning on it with your hand or your foot. Attach your tool near the large end of the stake, and while holding the edging firmly in place, start to move the stake using small motions. As the tab fatigues, you'll be able to bend the stake back and forth until it eventually snaps off. Repeat the process for the remaining stake and the 2 stakes on the opposite end. There are 4 stakes with each piece of edging. But if you look at a single piece of edging, you'll notice that there are 6 individual stake pockets. You don't need to purchase additional stakes because of the way the pieces overlap at the ends. Therefore, as you connect the pieces end to end, you'll only need 4 stakes per piece. Once you have all the stakes removed, you're ready to install your Colmet steel edging. It's important that you use caution as needed. There may be irrigation lines or wiring in your bed. If you've trenched your shape beforehand, place a piece of edging into the trench on one end, with the stake pockets to the inside. Before installing the stakes, look at the piece of edging and take note of where your next piece of edging will fit onto the first piece. If your next piece of edging fits under the piece you've just placed, then go to the other end of your trench and start there instead. You want to make sure that as you work from one end to the other, that your next piece of edging fits on top of the one you just installed. This will make the installation process much easier, as you're not trying to force a piece under what you've already installed. If you didn't trench and you're going to hammer the edging to the desired depth, the same principle applies. Work on top of your first installed piece. When hammering the edging into the ground, it's helpful to use the stakes to hold the edging into place by pushing them into the ground by hand and forming the edging as you go. Once the edging is in place, you can take a step back and look to see if you're satisfied with its shape. If you are, then protect the top of the piece of edging with a piece of 4x4. And working along the piece of edging, hammer it to the desired depth. Don't try and just hammer one end down, because this will only drive the opposite end up and out of the ground. Work at various points back and forth along the piece of edging until you get to your desired depth. We recommend an installed depth of 2 inches to slow the spread of invasive grasses. This leaves 2 inches above ground to retain mulch or stone. Once you have the edging installed to the desired depth, make sure that all of the stake tops are flush or slightly lower than the top of the edging. Backfill as needed.